This
Yeah, okay.
conference will now
Thanks,
be
Uday.
recorded.
So, happy morning, everyone. So, just give a short intro about myself. So, myself, Rail Murugan. So, I have overall of 5+ years experience in MuleSoft, which you are going to learn now. And I have been working on various projects on the MuleSoft. So, dealing with many clients from Indian to US clients. And I have been working from the version starting from 3.x to the current 4.3x version. So this is a short intro about myself. And before going to our demo, I just want a small introduction about all yours. You can just tell your name and are you new to IT or new to MuleSoft? That is enough. Okay. So who wants to go first? Deepti?
Hi, Neil. I am
Yeah.
working professional
Mm-hmm.
and I'm working on one of the integration tool, Oracle Source. So, yeah, I would like to
Okay.
learn MuleSoft. That's why I'm here.
Oracle SOE?
Yeah, correct.
Okay, fine. Thanks, Deepti.
Thank you.
Uh, yep. Next, Shabana.
Hi, hi. I'm
Yeah, hi.
Shabana.
Hello.
I have like 3 years of experience into digital marketing, that is completely into
Mm-hmm.
non-IT. So now I
Mm-hmm.
want to switch my career to technical. That's the
Okay,
reason I'm learning MuleSoft.
that's fine. Yeah, got it. Thank you. Thank you, Shubhana. What about Kalyan?
Thank
Thank you.
Hey, myself Kalyan. I have around 12 years of experience in IT. I'm into IT
Mm-hmm.
governance, applications and process. So I'm got
Mm-hmm.
an opportunity to move into integration.
Okay. Okay. Thanks, Kalyan. What about Monica?
Yeah, hi everyone. Myself Monica. I'm working in IT and .NET technology, so I'm new to this MuleSoft technology. Yeah.
Okay. Mm-hmm. .NET. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. Yeah.
Thank you. What about Shiva? Shiva?
Yeah, hi.
Chandrasekhar? Yeah, Shiva. Go ahead. Yeah.
Yeah, I have 3 years of experience on Java, so I want to plan switch to MuleSoft.
MuleSoft. Okay. Good. Shiva. Thank you. What about Chandrasekhar?
Yeah, hi, myself Chandrasekhar. Uh, I have worked on Oracle Sova 3 years back,
Oh.
uh,
Mm.
and now, yes, now I want to move to MuleSoft, so I'm new to MuleSoft.
Okay. Fine. Thank you, Chandrasekhar. What about Bharatraj?
Yeah.
Bharat? Okay, that's fine. So I heard that some people are already aware they are from the IT background, and some people are new to MuleSoft, and some people are new to IT industry itself. So today our class it's mostly consists of in a plain simple text format about where you are going to learn, and if you are going to coming for MuleSoft means actually the MuleSoft is coming where which domain and what is a MuleSoft and small overview of it. So it will be pure theoretical. It will be like an communication thing only. So our class will be more of interactive thing so that we can get some stuff headed into our things. So let me start with the training. Before going to the training, first we need to know where we are coming. Actually, everybody know all came for MuleSoft demo, but where the MuleSoft is coming. So if you take the IT industry means there are many roles if you see nowadays. Okay, so if you can think there are many roles like architect, product owner, developers, release management side or business analyst, scrum masters. You can see n number of roles available in ITs in today's world. So first we need to be specific on what kind of role you will be coming in and what kind of domain you are going to come inside. So that's our first thing which we need to know whenever we are learning anything. It may be Java, or it may be any kind of software. First we need to understand our roles, and then we need to understand our domain, and then we need to go for our technical stuff, whatever we are going to learn. Okay, so if you have any question, you can just stop me and you can ask me that itself, so that it will be interactive thing. So the first thing which I want to switch is, first you need to be an industry ready. Okay, before going into an role of what kind of role you are going to play inside the IT, you need to be an industry ready. So what is meant by industry ready is, so in IT, if you think means, many things will be keep on changing, anything won't be constant. Okay, so each time you need to upgrade your technical stuff to the market, how it is responding. So if you are sticking to the market value, then you can able to play around the IT world, and you can able to go to the next level easily. So you need to always be aware of the market and what kind of technology is going higher, and what kind of technology the client are attractive to. So all these things you need to have in specific graph. Okay, so our MuleSoft, actually it is coming under one of the domain called integration. Okay, so before going to an integration platform, I think some people are from the Oracle. So Oracle background, or Java, or many people. So in simple terms, if you say what is an integration means, can anybody? I think Deepthi can able to tell what is an integration in your own words.
To integrate different systems, like to make
Mhm.
them communicate in a common language.
Yeah, very good. Anybody else? In your own words, you can tell what is an integration. Forget about the technical stuff and all. So whatever you understand by an integrating something. So what is meant by an integrating? Anybody else
Getting
wants to?
getting the
Like
data from
to
different
adding,
sources and transforming the data.
Okay, transforming the data, getting fine. Yeah, Shabana, go ahead.
it's like just coordinate or like segregate the data.
Okay, very good. So I think everybody has some sort of knowledge about integrating something. So integration, the normal word which we used to tell, no, integrating something. So the same thing, what we are going to convert into a technical point of view, and we are going to come with some definition called what is meant by an integration. Okay, so it's very simple. Okay, it's like touching different points and making into a product. We are going to talk to different people, and we are going to collide that information, and we are going to deliver that information to whoever is expecting that information. That's it. It's very simple. Okay, so if we give an example, without integration, consider if you are having different kinds of language speaking people. Okay, there are five different kinds of language speaking people, but they want to exchange a common information between them. So if without integration, what will be happening? If we just can imagine means, it will be clumsy. So each people will know only their language, and the adjacent people, they don't know what they are speaking, and they don't know how to pass the information. Suppose if you are keeping a mediator for one language also, it is going to take a much amount of time, because one person will know only two languages, another person will know only another two or three languages. Again, it is going to take much time. Suppose if there is a common mediator who can understand each and every language, whatever the language it may be, and he is capable of understanding each language, and he is capable of responding to their languages, how their understanding means. So how the work will be? It will be easier, no? It can be achieved with less time. So that is the job which the integration platform is doing nowadays. So it's very simple. You don't need to go more technical about integration. It is like connecting different points and colliding the information, and you are going to deliver that information. So that is the domain which you are going to travel upon. So before going to the MuleSoft, let me give you a story, the real time story. I think everybody would have faced before some 5 years, or maybe like 10 years. Okay. So I taken the simple example to understand the importance of integration world which today we are living in. because before the integration how the world was, and after the integration how it's transformed to a greater scale. That's only we are going to understand by this simple use case. Okay, consider a person who is inside the home before 10 years, before an integration knowledge. What he's going to do is he wants to go to market and buy in grocery. So that is the use case. So what are the possibilities before we are having these online transactions or the APIs or the applications, whatever you are having nowadays? So what the people used to do? So from the home, they need to travel to the market. So there will be a distance. They need to take a means of transport, and they need to travel. Suppose if the person is not having the cash, everything will be in cash dealing. No? So if the person is not having the cash means what he needs to do. So that those days they will go to the bank and they will travel. They will stand in a queue. They will withdraw their money and come back to the again market. They will travel to different places in the market, collect the things, and go to the home. This is the normal behavior which we had. Here, what are the efforts we used? Just think about the efforts. So if we say that the same person, he needs to have one means of transport, there is a time consumption is high, and he needs to travel to different place to deliver to take one product, and he needs to come back to the home without integration, without the online transactions or whatever we are having. So this was the case which was happening when the integration platform came into the IT. Okay, when integration newly it came into the IT, introduced, and they delivered a beautiful products of and fast delivering APIs or the applications which we are using nowadays. It transformed everything. Okay, today what we are doing, if you want anything means you are just sitting in your home, you are taking any online transactions, applications or apps, whatever you are having, you are just ordering the things, you are doing an online payment, everything is coming and delivering into your home itself. Okay, and the time consumption is everything is happening in fraction of seconds. You are ordering in product, it is done in just fraction of seconds.
ఎవరు మాట్లాడాడు అది అయ్యా అమ్మా ఇప్పుడు కాదు
Can
రేపు
you go on mute?
ఇయ్యాలి బాబా వేస్తా ఎట్టున్నో చూసి రేపు నీకే వేస్తా గట్టిగా వేస్తా.
Chandramouli, can you go on mute, please? Yeah. So if you want to talk means you can unmute. Yeah. Okay. Thank you. Thanks for that response. So after integration, it transformed our whole thing. So it made our work very easier and life also became very easier. So this is the importance the integration platform has given to you. So why I taken this example is always we should not concentrate about the technical stuff. We also need to correlate with our day-to-day life. Okay, so whatever we are doing our day-to-day life, whatever the use case we are facing inside our day-to-day life, the difficulties and the challenges, everything is just converted into a technical format, and we are achieving it some means of technology. Okay, so this is the response which integration platform has given to the today's world. Because of this response, there was many new softwares and many integration platform softwares have been emerged and which is available in the market nowadays. Okay, inside that the one of the product is only known as a MuleSoft. Okay, so the MuleSoft is not the only integration platform. We are having n number of integration platform which is available nowadays, which are going to do the same job, whatever the other applications also doing the same thing. In that one of the software is only known as MuleSoft, which you are going to learn and we are going to travel along with it. Okay, so why the people are moving inside the MuleSoft instead of going to other available softwares which are also good in the market, which are also going to do the same job? Why the people are moving to the MuleSoft, which you will come to know by the benefits of what are the application this particular MuleSoft is having. Okay, so inside integration, so who is owning our MuleSoft? First, you need to know who is our owner. So our Salesforce acquired our MuleSoft before 2 years. Okay, before that, our MuleSoft was in separate company, but after that, the Salesforce company has just acquired our MuleSoft. It means Salesforce is the company. Inside that company, they are having our technology called integration. Inside that integration, they are having a tool called MuleSoft. Okay, so if anybody asks you what is the owner of MuleSoft means, you need to say it's a Salesforce product company. Inside that, they are just integrated the MuleSoft. Okay, So what the MuleSoft is going to do? So that's our next question. So what it is going to do and what are the job it is going to do is MuleSoft is going to just act as a middleman for everyone. Okay, middleman means he needs to know many things. Suppose if you are having a many people speaking many languages means if there is a mediator means he needs to understand every kind of language what the other people are speaking and he needs to respond to it. Similarly, our MuleSoft is also going to do the same job, okay, in a finer manner compared to other available softwares available in the market. So whenever I say a finer manner means in MuleSoft you don't have a coding stuff at all. So this is the most important point why people are switching to MuleSoft other than other language. Okay, here you don't have any coding stuff which you need to learn like Java or C or C++. You don't need to have any background about the languages, or you don't need to buy heart, or you don't need to develop a use case or nothing like that. So our muse of this product, how is it is just an configuration, purely a configuration. If you want to talk to any people means who is that people, you are going to take the configuration of that people, you are going to configure, you are going to talk it. Here there is no coding involved at all. A minimum level of 5% of coding is there. That is not called as an coding. It is called as an syntax. Just for some of the coding stuff, we are going to use something called syntax, which it is already documented and it is available to everyone who can able to see. So you don't need to buy hard anything. You don't need to have any background knowledge about any other languages in IT. You don't need to have any knowledge about any backend system or front-end system or anything. You can directly come to MuleSoft and you can learn it. That's why it's very easy and attractive to the clients also.
Uday,
Okay.
I have
Hmm.
a question. Cause it's been like
Yep.
almost 3 years. I don't have any knowledge about any of the
Hmm.
coding. So can I learn
Yep.
MuleSoft easily, or would that be a
Yeah, that's
problem?
the thing I said. No, it won't be a problem at all. So that's the beautiful flavor the MuleSoft is giving for you. Here you don't need to have any background knowledge about Java, C++, or whatever the language it is we are having in nowadays, or you don't need to have any knowledge about backend system or front end system, nothing like that. Okay, you can directly
Okay.
come to MuleSoft, you can learn it. So nobody is going to ask you whether you know this thing or that thing. Only the basic thing which we will be covering in our training itself. So the basic technical stuff where the IT used to say no, that we will be covering. That's not an issue. Okay.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay. Thank you. So, what this MuleSoft is going to do is it's like a small microservice. Okay, it's called as a microservice. Previously, if you take in IT means if you take any applications, our nowadays using WhatsApp or Instagram or whatever you are having your communication platform or online platform, no? The size of that applications and the concept of that applications will be in larger scale. You need to do many stuff inside that application. But what the MuleSoft is going to do is it is going to develop a small API to do a small jobs only. It is not going to make you complex. It is not going to make you clumsy by giving so much of configuration, so much of codings. Here we are going to develop only small APIs and we are going to deliver that APIs to do a specific job, which makes our work easier. If there is any issues in future also, you are going to concentrate only about that particular small portion. You are going to correct it and you are going to make forward it. So that's another beauty of our MuleSoft. Here there won't be any application which is having a large kind of data, which is dealing with a large kind of concepts and all. Everything will be simplified and in a simpler manner. Okay. So because of these reasons, in this slide you can able to see every sides of the corners of the IT can able to pass the information via MuleSoft and they can able to get the response via the MuleSoft. Okay, so if you take the sales, if you take the marketing system, customer interaction, or finance systems, or e-commerce portal, or product thing, or BA, or anything, whatever, wherever you go, if you take the legal, HR, or whatever, everything has become online now. So everywhere in the backend, they are started using a common integration platform called the MuleSoft. Okay, why? Because this particular tool is responsible to achieve 100% data integrity. So you need to understand what is a data integrity. Okay, suppose two systems is going to talk. Okay, consider one end the Salesforce is there, and the back end a database is there. This Salesforce people wants some information from the database. So this is our use case, where Salesforce is having some separate input payload. Input payload means input request, and DB will understand some separate language. For example, Salesforce can understand only XML, and the DB can understand only JSON. Means what the MuleSoft is going to do here. That's the job. So what the MuleSoft will do means, it is going to accept the request from the Salesforce. It is going to take that XML, and it is going to convert. The data conversion will be happening here. Okay, it is going to convert the XML to JSON and send the request to the DB, and it is going to get the response from the DB with the JSON payload. Again, it is going to convert back to the XML and give it to the Salesforce. So in between this data transformation, if you see, means in some of the things it may be simpler, in some of the things it may be complex, or in some of the things we need to put much effort to understand in the how the user is expecting. No, like that we need to understand and give the payload. So all this data transformation is achieved 100% in MuleSoft. That's the reason the client attractive to the MuleSoft alone. You can take the other applications which is available in nowadays in market also, like Jitterbit or many applications is there. But if we see the data transformation rate, means it is not going to be 100%. So there may be a choice of using a third party service, or they will be integrating many other things to achieve the data integrity. But in MuleSoft, we won't be using any third party. Everything will be achieved under the component of MuleSoft itself. So that's the beauty of MuleSoft. Okay. So
Everything
how it is
application.
going to? Yep. Okay. So how it is going to do all this job? Because I given a high introduction about what it's going to do. It is going to do this stuff. It is going to do that stuff. But how it is going to do? What are the characteristic it is having? The MuleSoft is having to achieve all this thing, means we can segregate two things. One thing is the studio part. Another thing is an URL part. Okay, two things which we are going to learn. So whenever I say studio part, means the MuleSoft is offering you a studio free, which is free of cost. Okay, just you are going to download the studio, and after downloading the studio, in the studio only you are going to develop the use case, whatever use case it is coming to you, you are going to develop it. Developing in the sense, you are going to do the connector configurations alone. Just you are going to concentrate on the connector configurations, and you are going to achieve it, and you are going for the next thing. So how we are going to design and deploy and monitor is, we are having two things. One thing is studio, another thing is the anypoint platform. Now I will tell you. So here you can able to see the MuleSoft is able to connect all the platforms nowadays available, and with the help of this, it can able to access the backend database also. So all this it is going to do. So how it is going to do is, with the help of all these things, with this studio as well as this API manager, it is what it is going to do is, you can able to design the API, you can able to develop the API, you can able to deploy the API, you can able to manage it, you can able to secure it, you can able to reuse. This is a beautiful job, which everything is done in only one application called the MuleSoft. Okay, so if you take other things, means designing will be happening in some other platform, and they will come and they will do their development, and deployment will be happening with some other server. They will be having their own server, they need to configure the servers and all. But here in MuleSoft, A to Z is done inside this tool only. You don't need to rely upon any other thing. So when I tell a designing, means suppose if you want to develop an WhatsApp, is similar WhatsApp communication platform means you can develop, you can design that API inside our MuleSoft itself, then you can develop it. After developing it, you can deploy it. Deploy means it, you can give the application is ready, it can be given to all the people who can able to access this. After the giving the our application to people, it cannot be stopped there, you need to manage it. Okay, how many people are reaching this, what are the issues the application is facing, how much success rate it is having, how much traffic it is having. So all this management is also done by our MuleSoft itself. Suppose if you want to secure your API, like putting a username and password or OTP access or anything, if you want to apply any security for that API means, that is also again done inside the MuleSoft itself. Suppose in future they want to develop another communication platform, okay, like WhatsApp, sorry, like WhatsApp, the people want to use the another communication platform means they can use our API as a blueprint for their application, they can simply reuse it and modify it. So a reusing of applications is fully available in MuleSoft. You can take any application, you can take that code fully, and you can just alter and deploy your application, which will reduce your effort to a greater scale. Okay, so it's in integration platform there are only minimum, very much minimum, which can able to handle A to Z inside that one application itself. So inside that, one of the thing is called as an MuleSoft. Okay, so consider about the time. Okay, if you take, if the time is higher means definitely the cost to that project will be higher and the client needs to pay more amount to that particular project. Suppose if the time consumption is very less means definitely the cost will also be less, the billability will also be less, and the client will be attracted. So what made MuleSoft as an less time usages, if you take the studio and if you work inside the studio, the time consumption to configure or develop an API is very much level. Like in 1 day or 2 day, you can develop an API on your own with all the configuration, whatever you want to do. And the deployment thing. So whenever you go to, if you want to do a deployment means it will take many cycles. We need to concentrate on many things. We need to do many configuration. We need to test it. Everything consists of a time consumption a thing to do in deployment. But if you come to MuleSoft means your deployment will be happening in just 1 or 2 minutes. That's it, you are going to do. Everything will be already set. You are just going to push your development with 1 or 2 options and it is going to deploy your applications, which make our work very much simple. Suppose after deploying, if you want to analyze the metric means, again it is available in the same anypoint platform. Suppose if you want to apply the security, you want to have high end of security, like you want to have some a high end means, suppose you need to get an authentication from the user and he needs to approve, and again the push notification needs to be sent, then the application will be approved. Like that security also, if you want to apply means, you don't need to go to any other stuff, or you don't need to develop and coding knowledge for it. You are readily having a policy which MuleSoft is giving for you freely. Just you are going to apply with 1 or 2 steps only. So this particular thing makes to deliver a product, the overall time taken to deliver a product is very less in MuleSoft, and the complexity is also very less in MuleSoft, and the data integration, the transformation which is doing no, which is to 100% scale, is also achievable in MuleSoft. So when all these are coming as a product and giving to the customers or the clients, what the client will do? Definitely, he will directly switch to MuleSoft only instead of going to other softwares. That's the reason in today's market, when it has been bloomed to 4.x version, now we are in 4.x version. It got bloomed like anything, and all the customers attracted to MuleSoft, and they can able to deliver the project in a short period of time. If you take the MuleSoft project life cycle means, it will be maximum for 8 months, or it will be for 6 months, or maximum for 1 year, something like that only. Within that, you can able to develop the whole product, and you can able to deliver that whole product to all the people. So that's the beauty of MuleSoft. Okay, so next I am going to tell you about the features the MuleSoft is having for you to achieve this. Okay, so in this one slide is capable of telling you what all the things it is having on its inside. Okay, so this thing, from each of this thing you are going to explore inside our training. If you are able to explore all these things, your MuleSoft is over. That's it. So our training consists of only exploring all these topics. So it is going to cover all this topic, and when you learn all this topic, you can deliver a product on your own. You don't need to rely upon any others. Just you can, if you want to develop an applications on your own, you can able to develop, deploy, and give it to the people whoever you wants to do. So that's the beauty it is going to give. So exchange is nothing but it is something like a garbage collection, where you want to look for something, you want to know other applications, or you want to have some coding stuff, you want to try something, means everything is going to available in the anypoint exchange. Okay, so the design center is nothing but, which we discussed, if you want to develop an API, means you need to design it. Okay, so how it will be, what are the characteristics we need to include, all these things will be done in the design center. Management center is nothing but, after deploying your API, if you want to look upon the metrics or analytics, if you want to analyze the things, means you can go and make use of the management center. And there comes a main important thing called as an Mule runtime engine. Okay, now I am going to give you a brief descriptions about a server. So I think people who are in IT, they already know what is meant by a server. So anybody know what is a server? Server, a server configuration they will be telling, no? Anybody? Okay. So a server is nothing but, after developing our product, whatever we are going to develop now, after developing our product, we need to allocate a space, and inside the space, we need to have some configuration in a way that it is holding that applications for large amount of time, whatever the time you want to do, so that the people maybe start using it. Suppose if you want to develop, if you want to use WhatsApp, means you are going to Google Play Store, you are just typing and installing it and using it. So how it is available is, after the development phase only it is available. Similarly here also, for that phase there should be a server configuration needs to be available. To configure the server, there are many steps involved in nowadays. If you take any software, to configure the server, we need to do the space allocation, we need to do the what kind of language it is going to fit, what kind of byte it is going to accept, what kind of time consumption it is going to take. Many things we need to do in the server configuration. But that server configuration, your MuleSoft is offering readily for you. You don't need to concentrate about the server configuration. Simply you are going to run your application with the Mule runtime engine. It is going to provide you a runtime engine, means a server on its own. It's freely it is giving for you. Just you are going to make use of the server, you are going to run in local, or you are going to run in any environment you want. Okay, just you are going to run that. So that's, that particular configuration is also you are not going to do in the MuleSoft. So your overall work is reduced like in smaller scale when it is coming into this particular application. Okay, so now comes an API. So with this particular software, what you are going to do is you are going to develop nothing but an API, which I tell it's in small micro services. Okay, so what is an API? It's if you want to know, means it's just an application programming interface. And if you want to know in simple terms, means it is just used for an exchanging platform. Okay, with the help of internet, some an exchanging platform it is going to do. So if it consider this particular thing is, you may use a many kind of application in nowadays. So whenever you are having that applications, you are going to go for a request. Suppose if you are using a friend request inside your Facebook with some particular name, what you are going to do, you are going to type that name, that request will be going to internet, and that internet is going to hit the backend system of Facebook, and that backend system is going to connect to the backend database, and it is going to fetch the result of all the friends which are having with that particular name, and giving back to you with a response which you are going to see inside our mobile. So all these things are happening in just a fraction of seconds. You can able to see. Suppose if you are request requesting anything, ordering anything, everything is happening in a fraction of second. But within that fraction of seconds, all this thing, it is going to hit that API, frame that request, and it's going to establish the connection to the backend server where the data is stored. It is going to fetch that. It is again going to come to the API. It is going to transform the payload, and it is going to give it to the users. So all these jobs are done in just within fraction of seconds. So that's the thing which you are also going to develop. So you are going to develop a small API. To develop this API, you are going to follow some standards. Okay, standards means how it will be is what is the roadmap you need to follow to develop this API. Okay, so to understand this API, so I'm going to take you the real-time example of restaurant. Okay, so here you are coming as you will be the client, and there will be a waiter, and what you are going to do is you are going to order something. Okay, so once you are going to order something, the waiter will take the request from you. Just he is going to take the request from you, and then that request will be transformed to the process, and he will be preparing whatever you given from the menu. The processing your request will be processed, and at the end you will be getting some response. Okay, the response means it won't be always in success response. Whatever you are asking to the waiter, sometimes it will be there and sometimes it will be not there, but definitely you will be receiving a response. So there may be a positive case, there may be a negative case also. So how we are going to deal with a positive case, and how we are going to deal with a negative case, and how we are going to frame that negative case and give it back to the consumer, all will be covered inside an API. The similar job, whatever this particular slide is going to do in our real time, what we are expecting, the same thing only this API is going to do. So this particular cycle only you are going to learn this for this whole journey. Okay, with some three layers. How we are going to develop that APIs with the help of some three layers. Like first you are going to do the design. Inside the design, you are going to take all the informations and you are going to develop an flow chart or blueprint, and you are going to complete the design phase. Then you are going to build it. Then you are going to test it. Once the testing is done, then you are going to deploy it, then monitor. Then if there is any issue, means you are going to troubleshoot it. So all this cycle will be repeating for every single API which you are going to develop in nowadays. So it is like in configurations only, so you don't need to worry upon any other stuff. So till here, any questions? Anybody having any questions?
No,
Yes, Shakara.
no questions.
Okay,
Yeah, so
anybody else?
we have multiple
Yep.
integration tools in the market. So how MuleSoft is
Yep.
different from them?
Yeah, so that's what we discussed. No, so the main reason why clients are coming to MuleSoft is the time usage. Okay, so if you want to develop an API and give it to the consumer, means the time consumption taken in MuleSoft is very less. Why it is very less is your deployment phase is very simple, and you don't have any coding stuff. You are having only the configuration stuff, and you are having your own server. The MuleSoft is providing the own server, the own cloud of deployment. So everything is done in one single application, which makes the client to attract our product called MuleSoft. That's the main reason why people are coming to MuleSoft.
Okay, and do we need to coordinate with any other teams while deploying or these things?
No, we don't need to coordinate at all. So the only thing which you will be doing coordinating is if you are going to talk to the backend, because we are going to be just a middleware node where we are going to take the information and talk to that people. So to understand the behavior of the backend system, doing the configuration, what kind of request it is expecting, that thing only you are going to coordinate. Suppose if you are going to participate on automation, so nowadays it's a separate topic called automation, where you don't do any manual deployment, everything would be an automate, means you can make use of Jenkins or something like automation tool. That's the only two possibility in MuleSoft. Any other
Yeah,
doubts?
okay. Yeah, okay, thanks. That's it from mine.
Okay, anybody else? Okay, fine. Okay, so how we are going to achieve all these things? So we are going to develop an API, and first you learn what is an integration, then you learn what is an MuleSoft, then you understand why we are coming into MuleSoft, And fourth part, what we did is what are the features the MuleSoft is going to have, and what the MuleSoft is going to do is it is going to develop with the help of MuleSoft. We are going to develop an API. For that API, we are having some roadmap which we saw here, some 3 levels of things. And the next thing is everything is fine, but how we are going to develop an entire product, because if entire product consists of many APIs, okay, and full entire product maybe consists of many single small APIs. So how we are going to achieve is with the help of some architecture model. Okay, suppose if you want to build a big home means first they will be developing the blueprint and they will be having a big architect level, and they will be completing the small portion everything, and at the end they are going to deliver that product. Similarly, here also we will be following some architectural style. Okay, so your MuleSoft has came with a beautiful architecture style called API-led connectivity, which I think 90% of the projects running in MuleSoft are going to use this architecture model. A beautiful architecture model which made our work very easier. Okay, where you are going to work upon some layered approach. Okay, so that you are going to develop small API with an experience API, process API, and system APIs. It means to communicate with the source, whoever is giving you the request means for that you are going to develop a separate API, and to communicate with the backend system for that you are going to develop the separate API. Suppose if you want to communicate with more than one backend system means you are going to develop an orchestration that is called as an process API. This thing will be very much interesting architecture model. When you start working on this API led connectivity, you are going to enhance your knowledge like anything, that if you are getting any use case you are going to think based on futuristic, and you itself going to frame this API led connectivity. Okay, so because this one particular thing is, suppose if you are having a whole product with one API, consider the case. What is the case? I think many APIs, whatever the software platforms we are having, they are having one single product. Inside the single product, each and every code is there, and they are giving to the people. If there is any issue coming in that product, some troubleshooting, they are going to troubleshoot the whole product. They are going to identify the issue, they are going to change it, and they are going to redeploy again, which is going to break our head like anything. But here the same product, but it won't be a single product. Inside the single product there will be a small sub APIs. Okay, to receive that particular request there is a small API, to do that orchestration there is a small API, to connect to speak to the backend system there is a small API. Suppose if there is an issue with the same thing, now what will happen? If there is an issue in the backend means your first thing and the orchestration, it won't be disturbed at all. Just you are going to take only the system API backend configuration, you are going to change there only without disturbing the other two layers, and you are going to deploy it. Suppose if there is an addition, client is coming and telling, I want to increase my consumer to a larger scale, I want to increase many features inside my product, so go and do it. If that is the case means, if it is a single product means, you are going to again start it from the scratch, you are going to again develop it fully, and again give it as develop as a product and give it to the consumer. But here this architecture model, it's not going to do in that way. What it is going to do is, it is going to make use of these 3 layers again. You are going to reuse this API, you are going to just add the features extra wherever it is needed. That's the job it is going to do, without disturbing the already developed product, which is going to make your time consumption very less, and which is going to make the architecture, the work more easier. So that's the beauty the MuleSoft is providing with this architecture model. Definitely you are going to play around this API led connectivity, and there is a vast thing which you need to understand about this API led connectivity. So before that, I just want to give you a glance of how it will be looking like. It's a layered approach. We are going to work upon the layered approach. For each and everything you are going to develop an API, and you are going to make your decode or troubleshooting much easier compared to an whole product. You are going to break that and you are going to develop it. So with this kind of architecture, you are going to develop an API or the product. There are many architectures available in MuleSoft also. There are many things, but maximum the client is attracted to this API led connectivity, And in my 4 5 years of experience, all the 5 years I was working only on API-led connectivity. So that much usage this particular architect style is going to give it for you. Okay, so this is something I don't want to go more technical inside the demo, so I just want to keep it short for an MuleSoft. So with the MuleSoft, what are the other things which you also need to know? Okay, suppose you learn only MuleSoft, it's not enough. You also need to know how you need to test that, how you need to push your code somewhere, how you need to keep your code secure. All these things you need to know. Okay, so apart from this training also, I will also provide you what is meant by GitHub repository. You are developing something and you deploy that code to the people. Suppose after 1 month you want to review that code, means how we are going to review? There should be a common place, no, where our all code should be there and it should be secure. So for that reason, we are going to use something called a GitHub or GitLab. Many central repository applications is available. I think many people are from IT, they already know what is GitHubs and all. So this particular thing is nothing but when you develop something, you are going to push your data to the central repository and you are going to keep it safe. Whenever it is needed, you are going to take it, modify it, or push it. That's the thing you are going to do. So that is also will be covered inside the training. And the second thing is, here we won't be using the Jenkins, but inside our training I will be showing you what they will be doing to do an automation. So the clients are not interested nowadays to manual deployment, means each application the developer won't be going and doing separately. Okay, instead of that, if you are doing one push, it should automatically do all the deployments. If you are doing changes also, there should be some automation involved. Okay, so that automation is also can be done with the help of MuleSoft with some third party, which is called as in Jenkins, which I will be providing you how it is made and what are the configuration they are doing from the Jenkins point of view. Okay, so you won't be participating in this, but it's good to know about how they are integrating with the Jenkins, how our code is made automated. And the last thing is nothing but a testing tool. Okay, you developed an API and you want to test it, and you need to have some parameters. It's testing means it is not something like that taking that URL, hitting that URL, getting the response. It's like some deeper. There may be some headers, there may be some parameters passed, there may be some environment values passed, sensitive values passed. So you need to have some testing tool in a way that you can able to test each and every use case. For that, you need to understand any one of the testing tool. There are many tools available in market nowadays. So that inside that I will be telling you how you need to play around the Postman or how you need to test that applications. Your MuleSoft is also having its own testing tool, but instead of that, it's good to know any one third party testing tool and make use of it, because all these things will be applicable to not alone to MuleSoft, it is applicable to any softwares which is available in nowadays. Okay, so how your training will be is it consists of two sections. So our first half will be of Anypoint platform and or the Anypoint studio. I will be concentrating on the Anypoint studio for first half, where you will be exploring all the components, all the configuration logic, how you need to configure, how you need to develop an API, everything. And the second part will be deployment. Okay, deployment and managing and securing. So how we are going to deploy that, how we are going to do the deployment in different environment, how we are going to secure that, how we are going to manage that, how we are going to handle the traffic. Each and everything will be covered in the second section of the our training. So these two parts when consist will make you understand, and we can by the end of this training you can able to develop an API on your own. You can design on your own, you can deploy on your own, you can test on your own. So this is the goal of MuleSoft training for an absolute beginners. Okay, so any doubts anyone is having?
Uday, like I just have a question. After this
Yep.
training finished,
Mm. Mm.
will I be like industry ready, or it's like only the basic?
After, yeah, so after this training you can able to undergo an interview, you can able to clear that interview, you can able to work inside the project itself.
Okay, or else
Definitely.
will I have to go through any on-roll job training also after this?
It depends upon how you are going to perform in the training. Suppose you are good enough to develop an API and deploy it, definitely you can. Because our MuleSoft interview is not something like if you take you can mug up and tell something. Okay, it's not something like that. Our MuleSoft interview will be everything. If you do that use case, you can able to explain on your own. So they will be
Oh,
expecting that thing only. So if you understand the use case means you can easily develop it. You can easily clear any interview.
Okay, okay.
Certification is there for MuleSoft. Maybe after this training, you can able to participate in the Mule for certification. Once you completed the certification, if you go for training, means it will be an adding advantage to you, to your profile, whoever the resume is having. No, it's an added advantage.
we have different versions like MuleSoft 3 and MuleSoft 4. So we'll be able to, if we
Yeah.
learn MuleSoft 3, will be or 4, will be able to manage the other MuleSoft
No, so
version.
whatever the projects we are coming, no, so now it will be fully based on the 4.x version only, and what you are going to learn will be also 4.x only. 3.x is done before 2 years, and now the clients is not interested to go for 3.x.
Mm-hmm. But we could see, I heard that even there are projects in MuleSoft 3. So if we get a project in MuleSoft 3, we'll be able to manage, or how is it different from MuleSoft 4 and 3?
Yeah, so MuleSoft 4 and 3, if you see the difference means when you're learning when you cross some 10 days of training, you will understand. So basic difference will be in 3, we don't have much options. Okay, nowadays if you go for Pro means if you want to do the error scenario means in 3.x version, it's totally different. Okay, it's very tough. But now when it's game to 4.4x version, you are not going to create an error on your own. Everything is auto populated. Okay, the options is available, the dialog box is available, but in 3.x version it is not available. If you take the API led connectivity which I discussed now, it was introduced in 4.x version only. So if you go to 3.x version means it's a normal thing. There will be some domain project. With the domain project there will be sub project, and they will be concentrating on the domain project. That architecture style only it was used in 3.x versions. So if you are working on 3.x version, and if you want to know about that also, that's not a big thing. I will able to handle it. I can able to give you an overview of what was happening in 3.x version.
Okay, yeah, thanks.
Yeah. Any other doubts related to training or the time span or anything? You
Yeah, yeah. How long? Yeah, yeah.
can
How long
reach out
is
to
the code
Uday. He
duration?
will help you. Uh,
I will tell.
so all the information Uday will be giving to you.
మాస్క్ ఒకటి ఇచ్చిండు.
Hello. Sorry, I missed in middle. Any other doubt? Anybody has?
So basically, the prerequisites for which is like you need to learn the XML and JSON and all in order to understand, in order to create the API.
First week of training, I will be taking everything because in MuleSoft, if you see, means many people new to IT or they are new to integration, they will be coming. So that's the reason our first week of training consists of all this thing. What is JSON or XML? What is URL? What is an API? How it will look like? Everything will be explained. So after that, only we will be switching to our classes. Pre-requesting means you need to have a laptop which consists of some 6 GB of RAM. That's it, nothing else.
Thanks.
Yeah. Anything else? Anybody has any doubt or anything which you want to ask? You can ask me related to training, time spans, and all. You can reach out to Uday. Okay, so thanks everyone. So have an happy weekend. Thanks everyone for participating in the demo. See you soon. Thank you.
Thanks, sir, for the joining call. Yeah, thanks, all, for joining. Bye.